Okay, so I have this sketchbook from Escher. It's called The Perfect Sketchbook. And got some things I've done in here. And some of them are tutorials and some of them are not. This is not. This is not. Let's see. Not. I think this is a tutorial. It might be a tutorial here. This is definitely one, and this is definitely one. And I did this one. I got to fill this page. So I thought maybe we'd do something more colorful, like a Arizona type sky today. Be kind of fun and different. Just take your pencil, and you can see from here on the side here. I'm just going to go from here. And this is great paper, by the way. This is almost similar to Arch paper, but it's not. It's 100% cotton cold press. It's got a great tooth to it. So it holds a lot of water and does some great washes. And I'm just going to take my pencil, kind of jiggity-jaggedy, go down. You can see kind of like on an angle here. And then we have the mountains in the background. Going here. And you can see some things here. And you can see some cactuses up front. And it does come down again a bit here. And there's some little houses. You can paint them in or not. I might draw some of these little, I don't know, keep them in there. Mostly we're going to concentrate on the sky. I'm going to fold this back. And painting it. Let me just zoom out a little bit more so you can see. So the sky's got to be wet on wet. And I'm going to mix up some colors. And the best thing you can do is have this paint called lavender, which I use a lot. The reason why is when we go to do the clouds in here, it's a little thicker. It's almost like gouache, and it just lends itself to not coming bleeds. It's all about water control with the skies when you're doing something like this. So let's mix up some paint here. And you can see it's like a purple tone. So I just use ultramarine blue deep, or you could use cobalt and mix it with the wonderful bright rose. Getting like a nice purple tone. You could be a little more pinker if you want by adding more rose. So it's a little purple right there. Loosen up some of that rose. You get some orangey kind of tones too. So get that bright rose. It's one of my favorite colors. If you have orange, use orange. I have brilliant orange here. Can play around with that. We get to get that reddish tone with the bright rose in there. We'll just use the brilliant orange. You don't need much. There's really no yellows. It's like orange, pink, purple. Okay. So I'm going to get this wet. Right? A little wet. Now if you're going to get it wet, you don't want your paint super wet, because wet onto wet is just going to bleed all over the place. You want it damp. You want to just put some water on here and you want it damp. Just going to leave this a little bit. Make some more purple again. I'm doing my purpley sky here. Kind of leaning it going downward. At this point, I'm going to start to grab my pink, which is the bright rose. Purple into the pink. And then this reddish color. And I'll grab that orange. I can grab some yellow in there to make it a little bit more yellowy orange. It's fairly loose, like coffee and tea consistency. Don't worry about if you get it down to the mountain area. Right? Kind of like a stripe there. I want a little bit more pink. I'm using a 14 round Neptune series brush. Pink's going into that. So now at this point, I'm going to switch brushes. I'm going to grab a stiffer brush. This is the 12 Aqua Lead series. And I've got my lavender paint. And I'm going to add some ultramarine blue deep to it. And some burnt sienna. And maybe a little bit more ultramarine blue deep. And you can add some pink to get it more purple. See the bright rose? And see how thick this is? It's barely moving. We want a thick paint. A thicker paint like wash into the looser paint will not bleed as much. So now we're going to take, it won't look exactly like this, but see, now you can test it. It's a little too, it's bleeding a little too much. I'm going to make it even thicker. You can squeeze my brush, get that water out of there. Now it's even thicker. Purple, a little bit more burnt sienna. I barely can move this paint, right? Now you can just kind of follow the little swipes that you see from the photograph. You can get a little bit darker if you want by adding blue and some burnt sienna. And you can kind of bring it down. You can tap. There's little sprays of clouds going out this way. I see them darker on the bottom here, coming out this way. Little small ones going this way, across, and a few. I think it gets a little more orangey in the center if you want to get a little bit, we don't have to follow this to the T. Just kind of get the essence of the picture. And going back up in this way. And little sprays, kind of like little dot sprays kind of out here, right? And a little one here. And there's a little couple of sprays coming down. No clouds over that way. So now this one's a little bit more orange. I made mine a little more pink. I could try and grab a little bit of orange. Let's see what happens. And mix it into some of this area here. That's my doggy do making that noise. He's my studio mate. And going in here and just filling in a little bit of this orange coming down. It's making this nice bright sky. The key, like I said, is that lavender paint. If you want to get even darker, here's that blue, burnt sienna. You can try and get even darker a little bit. And again, I'll just tap some of these areas. A little more dramatic with the darker color. It's still very wet, so it's going to dissipate a little bit. And get this darker down here. Kind of going there. There's that line that kind of goes across. It's not going to look exactly like that, but a couple of little lines here. It's the key is that the thicker paint. You don't want it super wet. Okay, and I think I want to put the orange out here, so if I did do a little lifting the color, but it's already damp and wet, tapping it back on the paper towel, and I'm going to get a little bit of orange in here. Grab that orange and put that orange in here, like you see in the photograph. And then you can kind of go back in and add a little sprays in there, but it was mostly orange. And there you go. So now going downward, we see that purple mountain. You can go back and add ultramarine blue deep and a little bit of bright rose, a little bit more blue. Let me get this purple mountain here. This is fairly dry, so I can go in here and add that purple mountain in the back. If you want a little thicker, you can kind of mix in that lavender so it doesn't move. I'm going to do that. It's moving a little bit, and I don't want it to move. And it's a little brighter. You can add a little burnt sienna in there. Just tone on the purple. Get that purple mountain in the background. Still bleeding in here. Just going to fill that in. We're going to move downward into the green. I might go back here and like add a more hard edge line. So some rustic colors and some green. Take some burnt sienna. Loosen that up. Gonna put some of that color down in here. Going into the cactus area too. I'm gonna go around some of these buildings. Leave those kind of white. Just going in here. We don't have to be perfect with this. Kind of whipping down here. Some loose burnt sienna. I'm leaving those little buildings like that. Now I'm going to start making some greens. I'm gonna go in my burnt sienna in here. I use cadmium yellow deep and Prussian blue. Might add a little burnt sienna in there to get a little bit muted, more olive tone. I'll start to play with adding the screens in with the burnt sienna. I'm just kind of moving it, wiggling it, leaving space. Same thing here, wiggle, pushing down, wiggle, leaving space. It gets a little bit darker here. I can add some more burnt sienna. Just kind of wiggling, leaving a little space for the brown to show through. I can add a little bit more Prussian blue and burnt sienna right to the front here. A little bit darker, like so. And then you could tap some of these dark tones, kind of going back here. Just a little bit. Tap, tap, tap. Because they look like, when you squint your eye, like little balls of green. Right, and we'll get the cactuses in a second. Just kind of tapping that. You can also just take a swipe, just go down on the bottom. Add a little more burnt sienna. I'm going to put that color in there. Go down around where my bushes are, where the trees and the houses. Voila. It's a little highlighted here where it's not supposed to be, so I'm going to go back in here and just add in some greens next to the mountain. Just like so. Voila. So I left those still kind of white. Don't want them white. I'll go back and take my burnt sienna and fill that in. So you can put the houses in there. I don't know. I think I might just delete them. Why not? Just put the greens in there. We'll add a few cactuses and we're just about done. Now in the photograph, looking through the lens, this is very, very dark, but as I'm seeing, it's not that dark. We can make it much darker. Get a little bit darker with my green. Adding some more burnt sienna. Go in here and just darken this all up. And even in the back here a little bit. And get really dark in the front by adding more Prussian blue and burnt sienna. Right? So now I'm going to go back with my purple. This parts should be dry and get that real nice hard edge that we see of this little mountain coming down, going down this way. It's a little lighter on the left. Go up here and come down. And make it a jiggity jaggedy. I'm using an 8 long round from Aqua Elite series in Princeton. I've switched up to a much smaller, more manageable, tiny brush. And if you want to put a couple of cactuses in, I'm going to grab my green, mix some cadmium yellow deep into here, right? And we're just going to, still a little damp, but we're just going to make little lines going down, coming out, maybe a little darker. So coming down like this. So little, almost like little V's, but little tall ones, right? Just a line going down, kind of connect it. You see a few cactuses, but absolutely not necessary if you want to put a little darker green on the left-hand side, some kind of shadow. And then I kind of just drag my brush sideways, going down a little bit, grab some burnt sienna. I'm just going to grab some burnt sienna. It's a little wet. I'm going to loosen it up. drag it going down this way. But it's really just a practice in like the sky with some simple mountains in the background. Just a fun little additive, practicing the skies. The key is timing with the water and the paper. You cannot get these beautiful muted skies with the soft bleeds on hot pressed paper, cellulose paper. It's really got to be 100% cotton cold pressed paper. It's the key. And thickening up the paint will get these to bleed less. So you have those just slightly soft bleeds with all this mess, right? So I hope this was helpful. I show this a lot at my workshops and my retreats. So if you're looking to see this in person, which is sometimes much easier to really kind of grasp what I'm doing, check the link in the description box below for the latest of availability on those. And I'm just going to go back in here and add a little bit more burnt sienna again. And then we have our wonderful little Arizona sky. Super fun, very doable for any skill level. You just get the techniques down. The wet onto wet. Make sure when it's wet, which is damp, not dripping wet, damp on your paper, you're adding wet paint, which is kind of the consistency of coffee going towards milk, more milk. And then this is much thicker with that paint I showed you. So I hope you enjoyed this little study. Super fun. If you're looking for more exclusive tutorials, click the link in the description box below. And join my Patreon. We have more intense tutorials that are not here on YouTube, much longer, come with reference photo and traceables. We do a paint my photo every month. I choose a photo from one of my patrons, and I actually do a tutorial on it. So you could be chosen if you're a Patreon member at some of the tutorials there. And yeah, you get first dibs in watercolor workshops and retreats, which sometimes is great because sometimes some of these things sell out before it goes public, and all kinds of other stuff. And live stream, we have so much fun over there. So, and help support my free content here on YouTube. You get free content. If you're really enjoying my content, you can support me by joining my Patreon, or you can leave a super down below in the comments. All right, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Take care and have a great day.